Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So for today, I'm going to be, and I'm saying this in the nicest way possible, redoing the nails that my husband did on me earlier this year. This is just like a quick little, series I'm doing involving my husband. I did say I would do his nails in this video, but time got away from me a little bit this week because I ended up watching some cats, which means I was watching like 8 animals total, which was kind of a lot. So I apologize. I am going to do his nails in a week or two. Next week's video is something that you guys have been tagging me in and want me to do, and I want to do it in a timely manner. So the week after that, I will do his nails and show you guys how I do his nails because I'm actually really proud of how long his nails last. I do gel polish on him, and even though he's pretty rough on his hand, his gel polish usually lasts anywhere from like 2 to 5 weeks. So I want to show you guys how I do that. But again, that's not going to be in this video. In this video, I'm just redoing the nails, and I will give you a quick reminder of what those nails were when he did them on me. In this video, I'm essentially going to redo the nails, but maybe better. And I say that with love, and he knows it. Just know he's not hurt by me saying that. Anyway, I've been blabbering on, so let's get on with the video. Alrighty, so I have my crusty dusty nails here. Usually I have a base coat on, but today I actually want to be able to pop these nails on after, so I'm going to do something a little different. All of this on my nails, by the way, is just leftover gel. I usually don't file down to my real nail because I just don't feel a need to. So first what I'm going to do is just put some cuticle oil on my nails. So like reverse prepping essentially. And I'm just going to rub that in all around. And then I'm going to just dab off the excess. Then I'm going to take my base coat, and I'm then going to put the base coat on. Now, because I put the oil and in fact I inhibited the prep, I'm hoping that these will essentially be able to more or less pop off afterwards. I've seen people on TikTok do this for just like practice nails, and that's essentially what I want to do today. It's not that I don't want to keep these nails on, it's just I have more plans for another video where I want to do a full set, and I want to do that soon, and so I don't want to just have to keep soaking all my nails in acetone, filing them down, etc. So I'm just going to cure this now. So now let's get into the nails part. So I'm actually going to start with my pinky. Normally I start with my thumb, but I'm going to start the pinky this time. And let's do a little flashback of what David had in mind for this nail and how it turned out.
So step 1 is just squeeze it on.
What shape is that?
The shape of a nail. So next I'm gonna put some glitter on. Now here comes the hard part.
Okay.
I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. So listen, I tried to make the Animal Crossing leaf.
Oh, honestly, it looks like a pepper more than it looks like the Animal Crossing leaf. So he had used these square tips, and because I'm trying to make the nails essentially more probably what he had in mind, I'm not going to follow the steps that he did because I don't necessarily think they were the most productive. So I have this nail, this one will fit nicely. I am still going to prep the tip itself because I want everything to stick to the actual tip, just not my real nail. Hopefully you guys are getting where I'm going with that. Just gonna stick this stuff so that we can hold this on here, make it a little bit easier to use. So I'm gonna start out with base coat, and then this glitter from Dumb Blonde Glitter. This one is number 15. And I'm gonna try to pick up a little bit smaller pieces of this glitter. Still some chunky pieces, just not a ton of them since this is a small nail. All right, we got that all settled. I'm going to cure that now. Perfect, now we have this. Now he used this color, so that's what we will use as well. I believe that he put the polygel on top of it, but I think it would look better if we did it underneath. Then I'm just going to use a little bit of base coat to just sort of smooth that out. We'll pop the nail off. All right, and now we will just set that on there. I did have a little bit of polygel squish out, so I'm going to take my e-file and I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. So if you are doing any sort of peel off base coat, what you want to do is avoid doing a lot of filing or pushing onto the nail, because that is going to definitely make it probably lift before you want to. I'm being very very gentle. And if anyone has any recommendations for a peel off base coat that actually is for like practicing acrylic or like Gel X or polygel nails, let me know. I used to have one that was just for like polish or gel that I would use, but it would be nice to find one that was for actually like practicing acrylic nails. And I'm definitely like holding on the base, that way I'm not rocking the nail too much and I don't knock it off before we're done with it. I'll let you guys know how the removal of this set goes. Maybe this method will work and I won't even need a peel off base coat. Who knows? Just gonna wipe up the dust. And that looks like a pretty cute nail, even, I mean, regardless. We love a green moment. So now I'm going to take a matte top coat because we're going to draw on top of this. And it's easier to draw on top of matte than it is on glossy. Here's a nail ready for some drawing. So I think that he was going for the New Horizons leaf, which is why his originally had some blue on it, but I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm going to stick with green, so I'm going to use Key Lime and Peacock from Cart. A little bit of gel there. Okay, that one's pretty light. I think I need a neon as well. Okay, I'm gonna do the leaf facing me because I think that will be easiest. I don't think this is gonna be easy at all though. So I think I'm first going to just do the leaf and then I'll do the outline of all the like details after. I actually think that's a really good outline, but my dilemma is I know I need to do the little cutout, but I'm really scared I'm gonna ruin it if I do that. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm just gonna try to do the stem really quick. I'm happy with the shape so far. Obviously, we need the cutout though. Okay, moment of truth. We'll see if we can do a cutout. Now, because I need to do the cutout, this is definitely probably not the most efficient way to do it, but I'm gonna just try to drill it out instead of, I don't know how else to do that. Okay, that actually worked out super well for that. Woo! Just gonna do a small little touch up or two, just like tiny bits. Now I'm just going to put a top coat on everything. Here is our Animal Crossing nail. I will, of course, do side-by-sides at the end, but let's move on to our encapsulated rhinestone nail, I think. This one does not need anything special for attaching it. I'm just gonna pop it on as normal. I am just gonna use a normal base coat though to adhere it because we don't really need any special gel or anything like this since we're not trying to hold it on for a long time. If you don't have that much space to fill in, you can totally also just use gel on a regular basis with your full cover tips. That is also fine. So let's take a look at what David had wanted to do with this nail initially.
And now we're gonna put on this clear polygel. Here's an idea for your next video.
Okay.
Redoing the...
I was thinking about it already, about doing your designs, but...
Good?
No. Just trying to improve a little bit.
Doing them better?
Refine them.
All right, top coat.
So he wanted to do some sort of like encapsulated rhinestone design. So these are the rhinestones that he had used. Just gonna keep these like right here. And I'm just going to put on a base coat to hold those down. And also so our polygel will stick to it afterwards. And then I'm not quite sure what the original, I guess, orientation of the rhinestones was supposed to be. I'm just gonna give it my best guess. I'm just kind of going in like opposite pattern-ish. Okay, so that looks good to me. I know this is a lot more than he used, but I think this looks nice. So we have this nice rhinestoned out nail now, but what he had done was he wanted to encapsulate it. So let's do that with this jelly glitter polygel. It's probably gonna be a pretty thick nail, I would imagine. We'll start off with that. I'm gonna focus on just getting that purple everywhere to make sure that the purple is covering each rhinestone. Sort of looks like his nail that he did. I'm gonna try to clean it up a little bit. I think this is probably as smooth as we're gonna get it right now. So I'm gonna cure this, and then I think we'll probably put some clear over this. I'm gonna use a little bit of clear to try to smooth things out just a little bit more. Okay, clear on. So this is where we are with encapsulating the rhinestones. Now I'm gonna do something I would literally almost never recommend, and I am going to file this into a nice shape, which means we probably are going to file into some of the rhinestones. Now I normally would not even want to do this because I'm pretty sure that these rhinestones are resin, and creating a bunch of resin dust is not good. So if you are filing rhinestones to take them off, or you know, even doing a lot of filing in general, please make sure to wear a mask. I am absolutely wearing a mask, so I'm going to be filing these with the rhinestones and everything like that. So yeah, just beware of filing rhinestones or chunky decals or just, you know, stuff like that. Just be careful. This one is all filed. It do be kind of thick, but we knew that was gonna happen. It is just time for a top coat though. And here's our encapsulated rhinestone nail. Looks interesting. It's all right. I can't see the rhinestones as much as I had hoped, but maybe outside they'll give it a little extra sparkle. Let's move on to the next nail, and I'm just going to go ahead and put all the rest of the tips on from here on out because you guys know what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna do that really quick. For this next nail, let's take a look at what this was supposed to be.
We're just going straight on with the gel, or the poly gel this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this washi tape.
Washi tape.
This washi tape. And I'm gonna put it on the nail. I'm gonna use it to create like a crease of where the foil glue won't go on. So I can use multiple foil glues. Or multiple foils with like a really like sharp lines. Did I do the wrong side?
There you go.
This opaque foil. Does this side go up?
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna like, boop.
There you go.
Listen, I made a lot of mistakes on this nail.
So for this nail, he had used these two foils, one from a Prey, and I don't know where this one's from. I don't think I'm actually going to use this foil, and instead I'm just going to use a gel polish, that color, and I think what he wanted was an ombre between the two, and I think we should be able to accomplish an ombre with this foil and the gel. First and foremost, I'm just going to put a super thin layer of base coat. I'm gonna take this gel. This one is Madarin, I don't know. And we're gonna put this over the entire nail. And we're fine as long as the bottom half right here is even. We don't need this even for the top because we're going to have foil over that. Next, our foil glue. For this, I'm going to put it not all the way down, but maybe like 2/3. And if it's possible, just maybe like fade it down a little bit, although I don't think it's really that possible to fade foil glue, but we can try. I'm just trying to make sure I put a decently thick coat to where it is absolutely covered, but we're not clumpy. And then foil glue, you want to make sure you cure for a full 60 seconds, no less. All right, I love this foil. I think it is so cool. Like, look at how pretty. I love that oil slick design. I only need a little bit, but I'm gonna cut off all that I've already used on here because I was lazy probably. All right, now I'm just going to, you know, I think I do have a tool. I do. Okay, we'll try to fill in the gaps now. Just gonna scrape off a little bit of this extra right here. Just the stickiness of the gel polish itself made some of the foil stick. That should be fine. It's kind of hard to see with how reflective this is, but here's where we're at. I have a sponge, and the gel we were using before. So I'm going to put some gel on the end here and also on this sponge here. All right, it's looking kind of like an ombre. We're gonna definitely need a second coat. Gonna go back over that. And I can still see a little bit of the foil throughout this, so I'm just gonna do one more coat. But otherwise, I think the ombre is actually looking pretty nice. Okay, I think that's as good as we're gonna get, so I'm gonna cure this now and top coat it. Here's our foil ombre. It actually looks so much better in real life, so hopefully when I take it outside to do the end shots, you'll be able to see it so much better. Next, for this nail, I don't know how much I'm going to necessarily follow David's train of thought on this one. He wanted to do like holes or something like that, and I don't know. I think I have an idea for like a hole design. Well, let's take a look and see what he sort of wanted, and then I'm gonna kind of go off on my own with the same idea, but way different execution.
Oh, you know what would be cool? If we got a whole bunch of little like swoops like that, and then we cured it. It was like a 3D nail. I'm gonna leave that one. That's kind of
Okay.
just like a little loop.
A little loop.
A little loopity loop. Yeah, we just gotta cut a hole in the center. I'm just gonna like, and I'm just gonna take this brush. I'm just gonna make sure that that's flat. Listen, that's not as big of a hole as I was originally thinking, but I think it'll work. I'm just gonna take any of the extra and put it in the loophole, in the hole of the loop.
Thank you for clarifying.
Top coat.
Why do you say it like that?
My enthusiasm is draining.
So we're gonna start off with our pink polygel. And my goal with this is just to have the polygel cover this, nothing major, not too thick. Then base coat to just really smooth this top part out. I want it to be really even. The shape isn't bad, but I'm just going to do a quick filing just to crisp it up a little bit more. Alrighty, all cleaned up. Now, this is where like his idea sort of probably gets lost a little bit. He wanted to do like holes and stuff like that, and I don't think I let him drill holes in my nail because I just didn't know how I felt about him using my e-file without having ever used it before, which I feel like is pretty fair. But what I'm gonna do now is file a little hole in here, and then we're going to like decorate inside the hole because he put this polygel in it, but I don't want to do that. I'm eager to see how this looks when we brush sort of all of this away, and it looks like a hole. Alrighty, now we have the hole. I'm gonna take some top coat, seriously like just a tiny bit, and only gonna put it in the hole. And I thought it would be fun to put like one of these little, I guess, snowflake flower things in. Okay, change of plans. I'm actually gonna put it on the back here. I'm gonna cure it in place. And it looks kind of in like a snow globe a little bit in my opinion. And then hopefully this looks good, but I got some iridescent powder, and I'm gonna try to rub a little bit of the iridescent powder just inside here, wiping off any loose particles. And then we're gonna give this a nice big blob of top coat and top coat the entire thing around it as well. For our last and final nail, the thumb, let's go back to what David had wanted for this nail.
I put the jelly gel polish on because I thought it would look good to have at least some sort of color under the rhinestones. All right. This is gonna be the most trying part of this entire experience.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna put on an entire nail of rhinestones. And then I'm gonna encapsulate the whole thing in clear no, I'm not. I'm kidding.
Like, whoa.
You're like, no!
So I don't actually think I have those jelly gels anymore because when I went through all my stuff, when I put it away, those were kind of old and I used those a lot and they were kind of empty actually because I use those ones all the time. I love those. I need to get more. So I'm actually going to use this really, can you see, beautiful rose gold color from Ellen Nailed It. I love this shade. And this shade can sort of be kind of a little see-through if you just do like one coat. You can still see through it a little bit, but isn't that so pretty? I absolutely love this shade. And then I'm going to put a quick top coat over this because the entire nail is going to be rhinestoned. So I don't want to just put like the rhinestone gel on top of this without top coating it. Then we're going to use the same bunch of rhinestones from earlier, except I'm going to use the pink ones this time. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the ones that he used because those ones don't have like any sort of other color reflect in them. It's just like silver. Like they are shiny, but they're just silver essentially, which not honestly, I'm going to be honest, not a huge fan. I'm going to just start doing this. And hopefully with that rose gold underneath, it should look nice. Okay, I would just like to really quickly hand it to myself for almost pulling out the exact number of rhinestones. I have one left over, which I could probably shove on here, but I'm impressed with myself. Obviously, that was just chance, but still. I feel like that one looks so pretty. To finish off, I'm just going to put some cuticle oil and say thank you guys so much for watching and being so understanding and sweet to me. Please make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I'm glad I finally did this. I know that you guys have been wanting me to do this for a while. I will of course show you David's reaction and the final outside shots in a moment. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it so much. And let's go see what David thinks of them. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, those look so good. Oh, wow. Did you hand draw this one?
Mm-hmm.
Really? That looks so... I'm impressed.
Brutus.
Oh, wow. These look really good. I'm a fan. I think you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Like, a lot of this, like, you did that looks really good. I touched this. I didn't expect it to, like, feel in.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't. No, these all look really good. You did a great job.
Hold that for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, promise.